Are we good to go? Everything good? Everyone good? I want to make sure before we get started because this is going to be something new that I do on my channel, and this will be essentially the testing phase to see how well it does and how well it goes and how many more of them we can possibly do in the future. Welcome, everyone. I see you, Giuseppe. I see you, Kitty. I see you for the weebs. This is definitely for the weebs. I'm kidding, but it's good to see all of you. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples! Qushu92 here. You may be wondering, why am I sitting just a little bit further away from my desk? CDs, it's good to see you too. You may be wondering, Qushu, you normally don't sit away from your desk like this. D-Train as well. You normally don't sit away from your desk like this. Well, thanks to the upgrade to my entire setup, including a new addition that is going to help out with everything that I do here, especially with making things way cooler for you guys to enjoy. This is going to be a special session where I call it Building with Qushu. As you can clearly see here, I have a secondary camera now, which means that the talks of me, because mind you, the way I got things set up, it's a lot more freeing now. Now, in my wildest dreams, and I'm just pulling up the feed here, even though I can just kind of move this out of the way and then look at it back on Streamlabs itself, but the way I have everything set up, mind you, I can slide this over just a little bit. I know I'm off to the side. But the way I have things set up is now you guys can essentially see what I'm doing here on my table. And don't mind the water. This is to stay hydrated. What we have here is this is so monumental for me. What this means is, let me pull my shirt down. What this essentially means is I can build stuff for you guys. In the past, when I did the Lego Infinity Gauntlet, which is on my back shelf, on my back bookshelf, I had to position my phone a certain way. No, I had to position my camera a certain way. I had to position my camera from a certain angle in order for you guys to see me building this. But I did not have the necessary equipment or the powerful equipment I have now that would allow me to do something like this and it not interfere with anything. It's awesome. I'm trying to turn this at a better angle. But long story short, my sister from another mother is here in the chat. Welcome all. So, just to get to it, this essentially allows me to have, two cameras going at once. Dang, that water look good. It's cold looking. Oh yeah, I just got this out the fridge, bro. This been in the fridge since I left earlier this morning. Nice cool water. But today, we, as the title says, hey Q, have you heard the rumors of a new UCS executor? Hanabarka, I have not. Twin spoke very highly of you, so I had to come show love and respect. Well, I thank you for stopping by. I greatly appreciate you being here. And I hope I am worthy of CD's words today, at least to you. But today, this is something I'm going to be doing because you guys sent me in these Lego packs for me to build. And for a while now, I said I'm going to be doing a stream where I build stuff for you guys live on camera. But now that I have all the necessary, because I was having a hard time trying to figure out this particular camera right here, trying to get it to work. Turns out me plugging it into the same USB hub as my other camera was actually conflicting with things. So, after properly plugging it in, no more issues. So, today we are going to be building the Mandalorian Grogu's speeder bike. Mind you, I believe this was a set that came out before they announced that the Mandalorian Grogu movie was coming out. So this is not a set dedicated to the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. mind you, they have a set coming out, which is a brand new Razor Crest, and that looks incredibly cool. I kind of miss the fact that he's probably not going to be using his special Naboo starfighter anymore, but oh well, the Razor Crest always seemed like a cooler ship to me. But on top of that, we're also going to be building the Death Trooper and Night Trooper battle pack that I got sent in. Now, we're only going to be building these two sets, so depending on how long it takes me, that's how long this session is going to be. I have another one, but that's Marvel related, and that can have a session all by itself, however long or however short it may go. So, we're going to get started with the smaller pack first, which is the Mandalorian and Grogu speeder bike. And you guys let me know if I need to move things in a certain view so you guys can look at it better. I know my light, hold on. Yeah, you guys can get a better view of it right here, but then I'm going to brighten it back up so you guys can just look at the packaging. 58 pieces, so this is not going to take long. So, let's go ahead and crack this baby open. As soon as oh, okay, here we go. I'm about to say, this ain't it. This ain't all it. But, here we go. Here's the rest of them. And we got the instructions right here. But how's everyone doing? How's y'all weeks been? Want to make sure you guys have been good. All right, so we got this over here. We got the extended piece right here that is incredibly dusty. The thing is, I also need to be mindful of the fact that though you may be looking at my hands and the stuff I'm doing on my table, you can still clearly see my face. So I don't need to be making no weird faces or anything. So I need to be conscientious of that so that my own camera doesn't tell on me. But got that piece right there. And what is this? What is this supposed to be? The fact that the cape gets its own separate box, but I believe this is to make sure that it remains straight and it doesn't get bent up, you know, like tossing and turning in the box itself. So we'll put that over there. All right. Also, quick note. Don't let anyone tell you that Legos is just for kids. They're lying to you. You have not seen the crazy amounts of sets that have been made. Like, what you mean they're making a whole Minas Tirith set from Lord of the Rings? You mean to tell me a kid is going to build that? Best of luck! But right now, let's go ahead and dump everything out. I like to keep my, the packs, I like to keep them in one specific pile for one. I'll put that on the other. See, the joys of having a keyboard. Doing good on this end, boss. Just waiting for Kitten 2 to finish her adventures in the sand and playground. Oh, I got you. The benefits of having a wireless keyboard is that I can essentially move it wherever I need to on this table, and I can move it out of the way. Okay, so first things first, we're putting the Mandalorian's body together. And alright, there's his body. I need to work on the focus for this camera. I wonder if there's a way for me to work on that. Make it look better. Hold on, let me see. And my mic kind of obscures things just a little bit. It won't let me mess with the focus on it. It's all good. You guys can tell what it is. Okay, we're good. Okay. So we just need to put the body on and then take the cape and put it here and then put the other piece over it so it overlaps. So that the back looks like that. So it actually folds into like a cape shape on the body. I haven't had a minifig in my room or from a set for a very long time. Not since I was working at Best Buy. And I think when I bought Lego The Incredibles, they gave me like a free Edna Mode minifig. Got a fresh cut? You ready for church tomorrow? Of course I am. But also, I needed to get a haircut. I greatly prefer for my hair to be short. So, okay, so now we got the head on here. and it's good. It's good. The cape is good. Looks like it's folded just a little bit weirdly, but I think that's because it's so stiff. It'll probably loosen up over time. As you can tell, it's got that point that's right there. A man, yes, Kitty knows because I've told her multiple times. A man must be clean at all times. 34 years old. That lesson has been instilled in me. If you a man and say like, I'm gonna go a couple of days without bathing, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. You never know what person may be looking in your direction and say like, I would like to holler at them. But if they roll up on you and you smell like hot onions and warm water, nah, you're doing something wrong. All right, put the helmet on, and there is Mando. There's Mando. All right. Just have him stand right there. And now for Grogu. Literally just these two pieces. Just the little head and the little baby body. And the arms don't move. Yeah, the arms don't move. Okay, so we got Mando and Grogu right there. Okay, now it's time to get to the building for the actual speeder bike itself. One gray piece. One brown piece. And it's telling me to put it this way on one part so it looks like this. Then we just take another one and put it there. I feel like Steve from Blue's Clues just going through the steps of like, and I need like the soft bass playing in about the doom 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 doom, like a soft bass playing in the background while I'm doing this. But mind you, like I said, this is the test run on how good this sort of stream can go. And note, that goes for women too. Everybody needs to be clean. Yeah, this ain't just men specific. Everybody needs to be clean. If you have the ability to use soap, use soap! All right, now 2 of these gray hook pieces. Also, how's the latency? Is my responses coming to you guys quickly enough? Because I put it on low latency. I didn't have that for Power Wash Simulator yesterday. And therefore, what we were talking about, there was some delays into me responding to you guys, and I apologize for that. But I made sure it was low latency so I can see what you guys and respond to you guys more quickly, and that there isn't too much airtime in between me responding to you and you guys saying what you're going to say next. All right. Next section. Got that. On time and solid. Good. That's what I like to hear. All right, next is going to be this gray piece right here. It's going to go right there. It's going to go right there. You have to pardon me. Sometimes I be a little bit silly sometimes. Let's see. And these half corner pieces, they're going to have to go right here next to the silver parts. I'm still wondering if I'm going to go see The Mandalorian and Grogu, though. We like the silly? Good, because that's literally half of this channel. I don't know what I would do if this channel didn't have a hint of silliness, as it tends to do. Also, who was it that was talking about the UCS Executor? Isn't that like Vader's ship? Yeah, isn't that like Vader's ship from the original trilogy? All right, so this set is bought. This set is done. So the next one, actually, you guys can see the instructions like this, because I can do this upside down. I can read this upside down. So you guys can see the instructions like this, and then I'll just build it the way it is. So next we need the grill pieces, as it says on this step. we need these pieces. I'll probably have to look into seeing if I can clear up the focus of this particular camera, because this is a Brio 101 webcam right here. So I may need to work on those settings to make the focus a whole lot better so that things don't look, you know, up close and fuzzy like this. Like, it can look a little bit better, because I know it can. I know it can, so I'll figure it out later. Like I said, this is the testing phase. All right, got the grilled pieces on both sides. Next up, I need this piece and this piece. Don't punch the camera. Don't worry. This is a brand new camera. I would never. How dare you insinuate I would ruin my equipment? Do I look like I show speed to you, where I will just dive head first into my setup if I hit like 100,000 people? No. This stuff costs money. I ain't doing nothing to this. Matter of fact, don't nobody touch my stuff but me. Stuff is expensive. Have you seen the cost of graphics cards nowadays? 4 figures, and they keep going up. I ain't punching nothing. That's the reason why whenever I get upset in a video game, you don't hear nothing breaking. You don't hear nothing hitting anything. You just hear very heavy sighs. Why? Because if I break a controller, that is $74 I got to go. Literally the cost of a video game I got to go out and pay for. I ain't breaking jack. So now back to the Legos. Hook piece goes right back here. And the brown piece goes right there. So now it looks like that. Okay, doing good. Not bad for someone who's literally using this to read upside down. Yeah, all you hear is That's all you hear. That's all you hear. That is me channeling any sort of frustration I'm having from a game, you know, kicking my behind. Literally. And I had those moments when I was fighting Melania in Elden Ring. I probably won't have that same issue fighting her now, because not only am I used to her fighting, but also I'm going in with a shield build that I've been working on. All right, so we just needed this brown piece and we needed this orange piece. So now it looks like that. So we're getting closer. And the next piece will be this. We're not talking about Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm going to be so honest with you. And I'm glad that I can build this stuff and talk to you guys at the same time. That might be my most rage-filled moment for a video game I have ever had in my life. That might actually be the most rage-filled I've ever had for a video game, period. Just going through Dragon's Dogma like that. I have never been that frustrated, I was angry. It wasn't just like frustrated, I was mad. I was actually mad. So mad, this was the first game I uninstalled after my rant of frustration and anger. Uninstalled it, and immediately, right after the stream ended, I went straight to GameStop and I traded in Dragon's Dogma. I never played it again, never attempted to pull it up again, never attempted to buy it again because of the frustration I felt from just one thing in the game. You were so upset you were screaming? Yes, because the game likes to be cryptic with how to solve different things. Let me explain to you what it is to those who don't know. So, I was playing, and I can build and talk at the same time, so sorry for that. Okay, I'm looking at this, and this is going to go, this brown piece, this small brown piece here. Yeah, let me put this piece on first. And this turn piece. You opened up a can? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You did indeed. Now people gonna have to deal with it. This piece goes right here. So, what had happened was, there's an element of the game where you have to solve puzzles by this creature called the Sphinx. All right, that's that page done. We're good. Next up is going to be the car seat. And one of these pieces. It's like a puck, like air hockey. Like air hockey piece, it's like one of these small pieces. This actually goes in here and goes upside down, so now Grogu has a place to sit. So, the game of Dragon's Dogma 2 has an element where you solve puzzles from this creature called the Sphinx. Next piece here. And clear piece is going to go back here. And one of these pieces. So this is how it looks. Clear pieces on top. Dish-like piece right there. And this piece goes in through here. So there's an element of Dragon's Dogma where you have to solve puzzles by a creature called the Sphinx. Okay, I get that. That's nice. That's cool. And you have to solve puzzles. You have to solve puzzles from it. And the end goal for me was to defeat the Sphinx and get like this eternal resting stone that made it so that if your pawn, who basically could come under this disease that could turn them into a murderous dragon and then just rampage through an entire town where they would literally permanently kill everyone in the town, the last gift you would get from the Sphinx would essentially make it so that you could an eternal revive stone. So you could endlessly revive people that have been killed and get them. And even if your pawn, which is your companion that travels with you, were to rampage as a diseased dragon, you could just use that eternal rift stone or revive stone to basically revive all the people killed in your pawn's murderous rampage, which essentially makes it an absolute boon if you intend to keep traveling along with this particular pawn. Of course, the other method is to essentially kill your pawn and throw them into the ocean, where they just get consumed by the sea, and then you can respawn them back and they're just disease-free. That's a safer option. If they start feeling weird, just chuck them into the nearest lake. No one can swim, so that's one way you can do it. So, I go about my business thinking, well, firstly, I'm thinking, is this the right piece I'm supposed to have? Because it doesn't. Because I'm putting this on here. Hold on. Hold on for a minute. I'm putting this on here. Maybe it's not supposed to go all the way through. Where's this box? Where's this box? No, it's supposed to be there. But the Sphinx final test is you have to defeat the Sphinx. Okay. I thought all I had to do was just essentially kill the Sphinx, as I would. And the only way to permanently kill the Sphinx is to use an Undying Arrow, which is an item that, for starters, this item, if you use it, the game will automatically save. Don't know who thought that was a good idea or thought that was ingenious or intuitive, but if you use the Unmake Arrow, the game will save immediately after you use it. So that would mean that if my shot failed, then my game would save after I failed, and if I tried to reload it, then it will only load after I had shot already. So, I go to face the Sphinx the very first time. Mind you, the method to defeat the Sphinx properly is shown on a mural, but the game gives you absolutely no indication that the mural is telling you how to defeat the Sphinx. Alright? You hear that, right? It's essentially telling me, like, oh, this mural is here, but we're not going to tell you that this is how you defeat the Sphinx. So if you fail to defeat the Sphinx, oh well, you gotta wait until New Game Plus. So I call myself, completing every quest, thinking, oh yeah, I got this in the bag. I'm following the instructions properly. Everything's going well. Everything's going nicely. And I get to the point where I'm about to defeat the Sphinx. And I'm thinking, okay, all I gotta do, thin pieces here, all I gotta do is just kill the Sphinx. Just use the unmake arrow on it. What happens is, I go to use the unmake arrow, like the unmake arrow. And right as I'm about to shoot the Sphinx teleports away the moment I fire, and I miss. So, the game saves after I lose the arrow. Wonderful. So I'm already screaming, no, no, no! Then I go to just try to kill the Sphinx normally. Apparently, I was shooting the Sphinx in the wrong part of its body, and then the Sphinx looks at me, and I'm looking at the pieces I have. Oh, there it is. I was about to say, oh, I'm missing something. Then the Sphinx looks at me and says, I'm tired of this game. We shall not meet again. And then the Sphinx flies away. And the thing is, the Sphinx will leave the game permanently. Meaning that the only way I can take this on is to go into New Game Plus. I sit there during the stream for several minutes. And it was a long couple of minutes. Kitty was there. She was there, and she was wondering if I was okay, because I didn't say anything for a while. I didn't say anything for a minute. Yo, what's going on, Julian? And welcome, Max. Playing Sparking Zero, and I need to use this as background noise. Thank you. I got you. The silence was deafening. It was deafening because I was just spent. Also, this is where these pieces go. Yeah, because the thing is, Kitty knows that if I'm quiet for a while and I'm just sitting there and I don't say I'll be right back, then something's going on. I sat there for like a couple of minutes in just dead silence, because I went through the efforts of doing every single quest for this Sphinx, earning all these rewards, and because of an understanding of how to defeat this boss wasn't just plainly shown to me, I was pretty much locked out of defeating the... Yeah, you messaged me. She messaged me. Kitty messaged me asking, are you okay? You okay over there? You're being kind of quiet. Kitty normally doesn't ask me that because things don't normally get me to that magnitude. And that, I want to say, is one of the extremely rare moments where Kitty has messaged me to see if I was actually okay after that. Because I was screaming so like, no, what do you mean? No! No! And I was screaming so loud. So, after that, I continue through the game. I complete, like, the end game mode that it had going. We completed this step, so, okay, next piece. We did the next, we completed the, you know, like, the end game. The end game that they had going. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I wish the save... And I was complaining about the save system of Dragon's Dogma. And I also remember how the designers of Dragon's Dogma says, like, we don't believe in giving players multiple save files because we want them to live with their decisions. They knew exactly what they were doing when they made it so that if you failed the Sphinx, your game, you could reload your save back to beforehand. And you would have to deal with the consequences of losing that. So I beat the whole game, did everything I needed to do, and then I opened up New Game Plus. And I made a straight beeline to doing everything for finding the Sphinx and doing all of the little missions. So, at this time, that was pretty much my only focus. Next piece that we got. At the time, this was my only focus. So, I'm focused on getting to the Sphinx and completing all the quests. I'm ignoring the main quests. I don't care about the main quests. Matter of fact, the main quest was literally one of the lower points of the game for me, aside from the constant traveling back and forth. At the first time you travel back and forth to a location in Dragon's Dogma 2, you're just all like, ooh, this is new, ooh, this is new. But then when you keep going through those same exact locations to get back and forth places, with your carry weight heavily affecting your movement speed, and you do that 30 to 40 times, and that is not an exaggeration, traveling on foot gets tedious. Not adventurous tedious, boring tedious. I can't tell you how much time was spent using the limited resources that are your fast travel stones, which, you know, in true Capcom fashion, they would also try to sell you literally the ability to have more of those fast travel stones. So that was 1 point off for them. But I'd go through the game. And this piece is going to go right here. I go through the game like normal with the distinct purpose of facing the Sphinx again and doing things properly. So, I get to the Sphinx. This is how this piece looks. Put those 2 gray pieces on there. I get to the Sphinx. Oh, okay. This is going to go... This is going to go right there. All right, so now we got something for the handlebars. All right, that's going to go there. I get to the Sphinx. I complete everything that it needs me to do. Then when it comes time for me to defeat the Sphinx, I get the Sphinx in a position where I start opening fire on it, and then I hit the Sphinx with the unmake arrow. When I hit the Sphinx with the unmake arrow, it becomes invincible and starts talking to me, saying how I failed again. Mind you, the unmake arrow is supposed to instantly kill whatever I hit with it. I hit the Sphinx with it, but the moment I hit the Sphinx with it, it got bored of me and then became invincible while the unmake arrow was still proccing on it, like it was still active on it. And then in the middle of the conversation, the unmake arrow then disappears. And then the Sphinx flies away again. Meaning that I spent over like 5 hours. On that session, I spent over 5 hours. Over 5 hours making my way to the Sphinx after starting New Game Plus. Here's the thing. I neglected to save my game because after I failed to take down the Sphinx again, I tried to reload my save. Seeing how I didn't make an actual hard save because the game is finicky with its auto saves and hard saves, I try to reload my save and it puts me right back at the beginning of New Game Plus as if I didn't start off on this journey at all. When I tell you I was beyond mad, that day was the maddest I have ever been for a video game. Hold on, let me make sure I'm doing this right. I am not doing this right. Okay, there we go. And it was at this point we saw a level of rage we've never seen before in Q. Yeah, this was the point where I was legitimately mad. I was legitimately mad. All right, there's that piece. I was legitimately mad at the fact that the game's penchant for, hey, we're not going to give you the ability to save over anything you make a save for yourself because we want you to live with your decisions. And at that point, I was like, never again. I'm done. I am done with Dragon's Dogma. The moment I was done with that stream, I said, like, I'm done. After the session is over, I'm training it in, and I got Stellar Blade instead, and Stellar Blade was a far more enjoyable experience. But that was the moment where I was at my most angry for a video game. I didn't throw nothing, I didn't punch anything, but it was the most angry I was at a video game for how it essentially treated me in terms of everything. And mind you, I could have made a save at the inn closest to the Sphinx. I could have, but I was just so steadfast and tunnel visioned. But at the same time, I was still upset by the fact that I used the arrow to kill the Sphinx, and the Sphinx straight up ignored it. I have this footage on stream. This is not made up. I have the footage to showcase that I hit the Sphinx and it immediately becomes invincible and tells me it tires of this game and flies off, and I've wasted hours of my life trying to get back to this thing. I have never been so mad at a video game before, and I have not gone back to Dragon's Dogma. I don't care what they do. I don't care what DLC they release. I don't care if they make it so you can infinitely travel back and forth to places. I don't care if they make an expansion. I don't care if they put it on PlayStation Plus. I am never playing Dragon's Dogma 2 again because of the trauma it left with me. I am never, ever playing a single game related to Dragon's Dogma forever. I don't care. You could not pay me. You could not sponsor me. I am not messing with Dragon's Dogma ever again. I don't care if that thing drops to $3. That is $3 I would rather put into Wuthering Waves or Warframe. And mind you, I'm free to play on Wuthering Waves, so Warframe might get it. But never again will I ever touch Dragon's Dogma. You couldn't even pay me to play that game again. Never. Never again. And that is my story of Dragon's Dogma that Kitty decided to bring up. But never again. It was one of the most angering moments in my life of playing games. And to think all of this that I just said just stemmed from Kitty saying, like, don't put your camera just because I was talking about trying to fix the focus on it. All of that. All right. We got this piece next. Oh, I'm about to say, where's this other corner piece? But no, I actually put it on already. I just instinctively put it on already. What can I say? I'm good at bringing chaos? That you are. That you are. You are indeed. All right, so these are gonna go here. No, actually. Hold on. No, these are gonna go on there. Yeah, these are gonna go in here first. If I'm looking at these correctly. Yeah, if I'm looking at these correctly, these are gonna go. These small circular ones are gonna go on these small pieces first. And then these will go on the ends. Okay, that feels better. That actually feels right. That actually feels right. I tell y'all what, though, while we're on the subject of Legos, I can't wait to play Lego Batman for you guys next week. I can't wait. I know I said to some of you, and some of you may have been here when I said it, I was thinking of starting Final Fantasy VII, but I feel like Final Fantasy VII is a game that deserves to have its own month to be played in and not interrupted in any way by any other games. So instead of it being next week when I start Final Fantasy VII, and I know no. Wait a minute. What did I say? Hold on. What did I say? Hold on. I gotta actually double check the conversation that I had. Because I just spoke on this. Hold on. Okay. All right. I see what you mean. We can adjust this. Because I can move some stuff around. See, this is the testing phase. Yeah, this is the testing phase. Welcome back. Sorry, I just got off the phone with my boss. She may need me to work tonight. Oh, I see. But let me pull up Discord. Let me pull up Discord real quick. I was talking. Yeah. I know in okay. I know in my update video I said I'd be starting Final Fantasy 7 this month, but it's got to be pushed back to June simply because with me playing Actually, you know what? I can still adjust the camera. So, let me move my Stream Deck out of the way here. We're going to do some things. We're going to do some things live. We're doing this live. All right. Okay, put that there. All right. That's there. Stream Deck is there. Okay. I'm trying to get like a good position, like a really good position. Let me know if that looks good. Tilts it up to the wall some? Yep, I can do that. Now, I'm still right here, but I'll just have to move this stuff over just a little bit closer. Let me know if I need to adjust it just a little bit more still. Because if I had higher elevation, I could do it something like that. But for now, it may have to be like that. So this good? Yes, no, maybe so? This is the reason why I'm adjusting. But yeah, speaking of Lego, that's good. That's good. Excellent. Very nice. Good. Okay, so we already got this already made up because this is essentially this right here. And now we just open this up. And apparently I'm going to need to open this up. And this goes here. Yeah, I guess it goes there. And then this snaps into that. Nice. Okay. All right. Okay. We are almost done with the speeder bike. How many more pieces do I have? But it snaps into it. Oh, that was it? That's it? That was it? Oh, okay. Okay. Grogu goes in here and sit inside of the little baby seat that Mando has. And Mando can sit. Mando can sit on the seat itself. Mind you, his arms actually can't reach. His arms actually can't reach the controls. But it looks like it, don't it? But yeah, here is the Mandalorian and Grogu speeder bike. I guess these pieces are extra, though. If you gave me it gave me like a whole gun piece, so I'm assuming this gun goes in the back. Probably best to turn the gun. No, it's probably best not to have the gun barrel right next to the child. But yeah, I think we did it. Yeah, we built the speeder bike for the Mandalorian. Nice. You can hear the scream of it. Yeah, I can hear it too. I can hear it too. Nice. All right, we did it. We built the speeder bike. Though I'm still wondering about this. Yeah, don't do that. Think that's bad for the health? Yeah, I think it's bad for the health too. Okay, I think I got it sorted where... okay. Okay, I fixed it. I thought I had to press down all the way for this little dish piece, but no, it's only supposed to go halfway. And it's secure exactly where it's at, and I don't need to mess with it anymore. All right, so that's the Mandalorian and Grogu. And I believe these pieces are just extras. Now, let me look through this and make sure that there isn't anything else that needs to be, put in a certain compartment or whatever. Because it gave me extra pieces. Because I'm really only supposed to need just one of these. So these are just essentially extra pieces that I can keep in here. Yeah, so I can put this in a box or put this in a baggie somewhere. This one's better. So all these extra pieces I will keep. I can't even aim. But we did it. Okay. All right. That's the Mandalorian and Grogu. Put that over here. Okay, the way this is positioned here, this will probably be how I actually do building from now on. So that way, you guys can see a lot more of the space right here. Yeah. A lot better space. Because guys really need to be focused on the stuff that I'm building rather than just seeing like a whole portion of my chest in the corner. But that'll go right there. All right, we did good. Not bad. And we got that one done in under an hour. Mind you, a lot of it was just me talking. But this is actually the first Lego set I've built in a while. The last one I built was the Batman Batmobile. And it's like the full-size Lego Technic one. That took me like about a week on and off again just to build. But there's a Mandalorian and Grogu. Up next, the Death Trooper and Night Trooper Battle Pack. And this one has twice as many pieces. Twice as many pieces. Sorry. All right. Everybody holding up okay? This was going to be way more pieces. Yeah, this is way more pieces. Okay. Death Troopers and Stormtroopers. We don't need to say your identification. I was raised on those sounds listening to the original trilogy. Okay. Oh, and it's a whole ship. Cool. It's a whole ship for the Death Troopers and the Stormtroopers. Nice. Okay. Okay. Let's crack these babies open. Eventually, I'm gonna learn how to have music playing in the background and just have it playing in the background, so it isn't just like silence, uh, silence of me just moving stuff around. Unless you guys don't mind that. But we got the Death Troopers, and they are literal zombies. Like, I don't know if you can see the. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Definitely can't see it there because the light is shining. But here, their faces are essentially zombies. They look like they're undead. Alright, where's your legs? Alright, Death Trooper head, Death Trooper helmet. The details that they put into this is quite nice. I don't, as long as you don't start mukbangs. Nah. Never. No. That is something that will never happen on my channel. I may eat sometimes on my channel during streams, but it is never where you guys can actually hear me eating. Because I can't stand the sound of people just smacking food directly into the mic. I don't know, but that is not something that I find even remotely appealing. So I hate those. I can't stand that. Okay, let me get all the guns out. All right. All right, so that's one trooper. I'm trying to put it at the right angle. Okay, there we go. Death Trooper. Got a little gold incense on the top of the head there. All right, he can go there. Then I gotta. Well, they're all Death Troopers. They're all dead. They're all undead. All of them. They're just pure Death Troopers. They're all right because this is because of Thrawn. I forgot. This is a set based off of the Troopers of Thrawn. Grand Admiral Thrawn. Eating is cool, but when someone shoves their face into the camera and slurps up food or smacks excessively, instant rage for me. No build up, it's my greatest pet peeve. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either. I'm not going to knock people who enjoy making that sort of content, but that sort of content is not something I can see myself, just watching on purpose. Because it's not that it's unsettling. It's not that it's unsettling that they're just eating and they're smacking in your ear. It's just the discomfort of hearing that. It's just the discomfort of it. I'm just not a fan. To each their own for sure, but it's not my cup of tea. Yeah. Like I said, it's not for me either. I can't watch people eat food. I can't sit down and listen to people eat food. I don't even watch people who do like food challenges or anything of that nature. I'm not a type of person that watches that sort of thing on the regular. That's not the type of content that I like to watch. I either watch my favorite two YouTubers like either Jacksepticeye or the Game Grumps, the Super Gaming Bros, or Alicia X Death or Alicia X Life, either one of her channels. Those are the channels that I like to watch, but not ones where people are eating. It's just me. Been known to use channels like that for food reviews. See, here's the thing. Food reviews is one thing. It's another when people just it's another entirely when it's a channel just dedicated to just sloppily eating food. That has like a different vibe to it altogether. Now, watching people cook food, that's something I don't mind doing it. People cooking actual food. Not like Josh and Mama. What they do is desecrate food. But people who actually create good food, that's something I can watch. That is genuinely something I could watch, but not when people are just eating it and they're smacking. I can't do that. I can't do that at all. All right, long piece and then big old gray piece. All right. And then long rectangular tan piece. I'm being very careful because I do not want to mess things up and then have to pry a piece off that I don't need to. All right, that's another section down. All right, a thin black piece and a light gray silver piece. Gotta remember to periodically just show this. We need to have a good food stream. We will. We will. Because we had a stream where it's just showing expensive foods and ridiculously expensive foods like eating ice cream that has shaved gold on top and it's also topped with a rhinestone on it. People be eating and creating crazy stuff for people to consume. All right, now we need the silver bar pieces. That will go in here. All right, silver pieces. Then where's that stair black piece? There's a black piece. Here it is. Okay, there's two of them. So they're going to go on either side here and here. All right, now we look like this. And we need a gray piece. And that will go here. All right, here's how we're looking so far. All right, two more black pieces. Genuine question for everyone watching right now. How we looking? This good for everybody? Is there anything I need to improve on? I'll probably ask this question again at the end because that will help make it easier for me to see what I need to improve on by the end. But I'm just double checking with you guys while since you're already here. And 4 of these blue studs. Give me a sec. All right. All right. Got the blue studs there. Now for a black piece. Well, actually, we need another gray piece. that will go right here. And then a black piece that goes right here. So at least this part is fastened and fully attached. So we don't need to worry about that. And next, so now it looks like this. Next, we have the grill pieces that will go across all of these. See, this is relaxing to me. This is relaxing. Unlike Power Wash Simulator, this isn't gonna nearly put me to sleep, because Power Wash Simulator, when you listen to that game for too long, that game's sound will actually slowly start to put you to sleep. I am not kidding. I was sitting there yesterday when I was playing it for you guys, and I was just washing. And then I was just sitting there not saying anything. And then I was just going, and you guys can see it on stream. The moments where my aim just goes off and it aims in a different direction is the moment where the sleep almost tried to take me during that entire stream. So I'm like, nope. After I'm done, cleaning this giant drill or whatever it is, yeah, we're going to call it a session, because this game is dangerous. This game wants to put me to sleep, and I am not falling asleep on stream while people are watching me. All right, so we got black pieces flat on one side, but also have these, basically just Lego Oreo sandwiches here. And they are going to go on opposite sides. Okay, good. This will keep this fastened. And we will put this one right here. And now another gray piece will go up here. All right. Trying to make sure that this thing isn't leaning forward, but that might just be my view. That might just be my view how it looks like it. All right, so now it looks like that. And now another black piece is going to go up here. And then another gray piece. And now we finally get to use this. This is a thin piece. Thin door-like piece that's going to go up here. Going to need both of them. Where's the other one? I'm supposed to have two. Oh, it blended in so well. It blended in so well with another piece. It blended in so well. Okay, this will go here. And then the other one will go here. And then these hook pieces will go right up here. All right. All these hooks are now up there. The hooks! The hooks! Haven't seen that SpongeBob episode in years. All right, so now we're looking like this. All right, nice. All right, next up, two of these square pieces. And then more gray pieces to go on them, and then more black flat pieces to go on them. So now, more Oreo sandwich pieces. And they go up to the front. Okay. So now we're looking like this. Looks like a train. Oh, I wonder if Dutch would like this design. And then we put this gray piece right here. Okay. So now we're looking like this. More black pieces and more gray pieces. They're really making me use all these black and gray pieces over and over again. So now we're here. All right, now we're getting into the interesting part. These are the launchers that will throw out, red studs to facilitate, the appearance of bullets. So those, they also have their own little mechanisms that's supposed to go in here. And I think the right way to do it is... Oh, here we go. Okay. All right, there's a trigger for that one. Now we got to do the other one. Okay. Both of these guns are locked and loaded, and they will go to the bottom. Okay. Now we got gun barrels. We got gun barrels for the front. It also tells me not to aim at the eyes. Of course, I'm never going to aim this at anybody because this is only going to be in one spot in my room and it won't be anywhere else. And the silver pieces. Well, not silver, but gray. Go on the sides. So now these look like that. Now we get to take these rectangular pieces here and put them in an L. Ooh, that's actually a smart design because it completely covers what I just put on here. Because it also secures the guns as well. That's a nice design. I like that. That L shape just goes right there. So it covers up the guns and also secures it. I like it when a Lego set goes the extra mile to cover up, exposed sections, so it starts to look more and more streamlined the more you work on it. All right. Next step. Okay, long gray piece. Long gray piece. And then this black piece that looks like a half step. Looks like that. That's going to go on the end. And then these winch pieces, like these, looks less Lego-y, but still Lego. Right. It's like a good transformer where they go the extra mile to give you way more room with transforming more pieces of the body. So they look more robot-like and not like, oh, you just fold the arm back and the legs back and then it's a truck. No, it's like, oh, you fold the arms out and then you need to fold the legs inward and then condense them and then fold them in underneath the foot and then have the heel of the foot come back and latch onto the back of it. So it starts to look way more humanoid than robot. if you compare like the Transformers from the 1960s and 70s, I think it's like the 60s and 70s, all the way up to the Transformers that are being made now. Transformers now, they are so detailed in their transformations that it's like, how did y'all figure out how to make these pieces just latch on and configure with each other, and then make it so that when it's in its alternate form, like say the vehicle or whatever it's supposed to be, you can't really tell where the robot parts are. That's what I find really unique about Transformers as a whole. All right, gray pieces like this go here, and another gray piece. So now we look like this. I gotta get used to properly tilting this in the direction of it, not in the view of me, but in the view of you guys. So I gotta get used to that. All right, one gray piece, and that is literally my last light gray piece. No more light gray square pieces. No more. But we do have one black piece that goes across all of these to basically keep them secure, like that. Then we have this piece that goes across to secure the winches on the end. So now we look like this. It's got a curved piece that connects the two in the middle. And this is my last flat black piece. And that goes and connects the square light gray piece right there. And then we got side grills. We got pointed triangular side grills. Goes up here. And put them on both sides. So now they look like this. Nice. Still got some steps. So this whole thing goes, and if I'm looking at this correctly, this is going to go across the entirety. Yeah, it's going to go the entirety of the top of this cruiser here. So it looks like this now. So we essentially just made the full roof. And then these last gray pieces are going to go in the back. Honest question, do you guys mind me just literally narrating what I'm doing when it comes to these Legos? I don't know if you guys would rather I say something different, but I'm just kind of double checking. Okay, now we got this piece that will go along the back. And then this piece, another curved piece. All right, so that part's secure. No problem, do what you're comfortable doing. Okay. Because I felt like, yeah, I don't mind just describing what I'm doing so you guys can see as well while I do it. Which is kind of like what I did for the Lego Infinity Gauntlet. Okay, now we're at the point where I can put like the blast shield on this thing. And it just goes right here. I thought it was gonna be a piece where it would actually fold upwards and I can put like the Stormtrooper, the Death Trooper inside. But now we got the blast shield. Yes, yes. Next up, the little knobby thingies, whatever this is. And they securely snap in there. I'm listening and locked in drawing, so sorry if I'm not replying. You're fine. Yeah, we're down for whatever you are. Well, thank you, D-Train. Thank you, everybody, for being so understanding. I really appreciate that. I haven't done something like this in a very long time, so I'm grateful you guys are just like, one, okay with it, and two, so open to me trying something new for the channel. So I really do appreciate it. And one of the Death Troopers fell over, and I didn't even notice. All right, so the transport ship looks like this now. It's got a blast shield in the front, and these 4 knobs that go out to the side. Okay, We're down to the last couple of pieces, and then we'll be done. And then I can say, hey, I had an entire session where I'm just building Legos for you guys. Now, this isn't going to be something that happens all the time, but only on, I guess, special occasions. But this is kind of like something I would like to do for you guys as a whole. Okay. So these pieces, which is flat, on one side and it's got a hole in it. Yeah, flat on one side, but it has studs on the other. And basically an almost baseball diamond like shape. I think putting a puzzle together would be pretty chill as well. Oh yeah, definitely a puzzle would definitely be super chill. And then we have these curved pieces that go over here. And I got to do that 4 times. I haven't built a puzzle in years, so. All right. Maybe they have like one-piece puzzles. I would love to make a one-piece puzzle. I'll have to look into it. But let's see how well this session does first. They have manga puzzles? Ooh, cool. Let's see how well this session does first before I start, counting my chickens before they hatch. Okay, so we made these. Now we need to connect them with the rods. And they go into the first slot for them. Oh, I like that design. That's actually really cool. Oh, that's actually really cool. Yeah, let me show you. Okay. So these can turn and move in a certain direction like I need them to. Like in whatever direction. That is really cool. I like that. They're not completely fastened, so I can just move them however. And I don't know how they look officially, like in, like official art for the actual transport itself. But I think this is a really cool design. And I got it on the right ones, right? Yeah, I got it on the right ones. So it looks like this now. It looks like this essentially. This is cool. Now it wants me to load up the red studs. That's got enough force to make a stud spin in place. That thing just hit my keyboard and then it spun in place. Wait, you guys could see that. Wait, you guys could see that, right? Y'all saw it was spinning right here? Y'all saw that. I'm glad that was, I hope that was on camera. I hope you guys were able to see that. But yeah, these red studs can essentially just go in here. All right. So ammunition is loaded in. These little triggers on the side can be pressed and they will launch the studs. Now it's telling me 4, but there's not enough space to put in 4 because it won't go that far. Yeah, it won't go that far to actually hold 4, even though it's telling me 4 is needed. But with that, we can take this shield off and take all these troopers' guns. And just hook them up. Am I doing this right? I'm trying to see if I'm doing this right. Yeah. Okay, the long ones go in the back. Short guns go... I'm looking at where the guns go. Trying to make sure that these guns can actually fit on the end. Okay, yeah, there they go. Yeah, okay. I was putting it wrong. The long rifle went right. Yeah. Yeah, we're good. I think we did it. Then put these guns on. Come on. Come on in there. Okay, all the guns are on there. All right, so the pilot. He's a pilot, so he sits down. Then put the blast shield on, so the guns on the side. Pilot, right there. Windshield goes on. Maybe I need to put the arms down because... Yeah, I had to put the arms down. It was pushing them backwards. All right, pilot in the front. Troopers, just stand on the side. Don't do this while I'm live, while I'm in front of people. Don't make me look bad. Just get in the thing. Okay. And we're done. We did it. This is the Death Trooper transport. What is this thing called again? The Death Trooper and Night Trooper Battle Pack. We did it. We built the whole thing. And we got extra pieces again. This can go inside of the little bag where I have the other Mando pieces, just in case I need them. All right. And the rest is trash. Every time I see one of those foot soldiers, all I can think about is the time you mercilessly force push one off the cliff in Jedi Survivor. Man, those were some good times. Those were some good times playing Jedi Survivor. I wonder if that game is on sale, because I know I traded it in one time because I wanted to get another game. And I was like, yeah, I don't play Jedi Survivor anymore. But I haven't, but I wonder if they've improved the frame rate, because there's still stuff I needed to do in Jedi Survivor. And I wouldn't mind going back to Jedi Survivor again, just to, clear up some loose ends that I haven't actually finished with the game. So I wouldn't mind doing that. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the point where I have built everything I said I was going to build. And this has been my first LEGO session where I basically just build stuff for you guys. And with that, we take a swig of water. We take a swig of water, and I can say that I enjoyed myself with this. I did. And I was kind of worried that this wasn't going to be long enough for you guys to enjoy. But not everything everything I do on this channel needs to be upwards to 4 hours. Not everything that I do. That's mostly just for games. But building both the Death Trooper and Night Trooper battle pack here, and the Mandalorian and Grogu speeder bike, I think we did good. I think we did good for our and mind you, this is my first time building Legos for the channel, but it is the first time building Legos with an actual second camera, so you guys can see more of what's going on here. So overall, this was incredibly fun and also relaxing as well. And even hearing me go on another rant about Dragon's Dogma 2 again, my biblical levels of jealousy cannot be described watching this. Hey, it's fine. It's okay. It's okay. But here's the thing though. Being able to stream like this with 2 cameras was something I thought only high-end streamers and high-end YouTubers were capable of doing. Oh, they needed the best equipment to do this. They needed the best equipment to do that. And seeing myself go from literally using my phone, not this phone, but using my phone when I first started to basically record myself several years ago, pretty much 10 years ago, a decade ago, and now I'm here, channel bigger than it was before. And now I got a much more powerful PC. I got a much better monitor. I got a second webcam. Being able to do all this stuff, I'm just grateful that I get to do all this stuff that I love to do with the means to do so. I'm just grateful. And I am officially looking forward to our next session, where I get to build something for you guys again. And I can't wait for that day. But, like I said, Death Trooper and Night Trooper Battle Pack, The Mandalorian and Grogu. Thank you everybody for tuning in. With that being said, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Even check out my membership or Patreon, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. Oh, hold on, let me do this. To entertaining you. And because I know you're coming back anyway. Have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!